the strategy for the generators, manifesting generators, is responding. So you're actually always responding. That's like the really cool part that I've really learned is there's always something to respond to. You're responding to the sun shining through the window. You're responding to the phone ringing. You're responding to your pets, your animals. You're responding to your children. You're responding to everything around you. Um, and if you think that you're not responding or you have nothing to respond to, you've probably just really narrowed your focus. And it's kind of like looking through a microscope. You're just like, all you can see is just one thing and you can't see anything else around you. So it's really about, widening your perspective, getting out of your head, because you might just be like obsessed with the desire as well. Like, I need this mastermind, and all I can see is like this one avenue. When it's like the universe is like, are you kidding me? Like, there's 5,000 different avenues. So, really having that awareness of like, am I being obsessive? Am I like not wanting to see outside of my view, of my perspective? Um, because when we're doing that, we're not open to receive either. So it's really just like, oh, okay, here I am, like trying to make things happen. Am I forcing? Am I pushing? Am I gripping, controlling? Like all
Mm.
of that is going to be a hint of, oh, I'm not laying back. I'm not receiving. I'm not responding. Um, and yeah, another good one would be, are you trying to initiate something? Are you like that forcing energy? Yeah, if you have questions at any time, feel free to interrupt
I
because
do.
I'll just keep talking.
What can you give me an example of responding? Because I'm not sure I quite understand how
Yeah.
I'm responding. The only thing I can think of is so a minute ago I left my pot on and there was smoke and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to turn it off. And so the house got all smoky and I personally don't like the AC. So I turned off the AC and I opened all the windows and I just like, ooh, it just felt like this like fresh air and like I have my fan on and that felt good to
Mhm.
have like all of the windows and the doors open and like just like the breeze. Is that me responding to what happened or okay?
Yeah, I would say so. And then like listening to like, ooh, I want the windows open. Like that feels good. That's
Hmm.
your sacral going, ooh, I desire fresh air. Like that lit up feeling. That's what we want to follow instead of, oh, well, probably should just turn on the AC.
Hmm.
Like all of
Yeah.
those shoulds, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. All of the shoulding, like you're shitting on yourself. Like
Yeah.
it's just bad. We don't want to go into any of that because that's going back into the head of like, oh, well, I should do it this way. Yeah, is somebody gonna get mad because I opened up the doors? Like all of that. And it really is. So if somebody asks you, so I had this happen to me yesterday. We're at a barbecue and I don't like cigarettes. And this guy asked, is it okay if I light this cigarette? And the first thing that was like coming up was no. I was like, hell no. But then my mind was like, oh, well, you should just be nice, let him smoke a cigarette. But I haven't even said anything yet. Like, this is all going in my head in like, a matter of seconds. And my friend says, well, the law is 25 feet. So, so he ended up walking away, but it was so amazing just to feel like that no immediately, but then the mind coming in and going, oh, well, people pleasing. Oh, well,
Hmm.
you should let them. We're outside. Like, well, as long as the wind's not blowing in my direction, like all of these things to just override my sacral that was like, hell no, I don't want that
Yeah.
even near me. And so it was awesome that my friend was able to speak up before me because I was totally just going to go, yeah, sure, instead of really honoring, no, I don't want that near me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's just a little example of like how quickly the mind is going to override what your sacral says.
Hmm.
And so it is just like being able to step back and go, whoa, is this my mind coming in and taking over and doing all the things? Like, how can I slow down, honor that response? And the guy wasn't mad about it. And I mean, he asked. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, just being able to catch that. And so I was like, whoa, cool. That was, just a nice little lesson for me to experience. And now I can go, hey, he wasn't mad at my friend, so I can say no and it's okay.
Mhm.
But so much of that has happened, like growing up, our parents said, oh, go clean your room. Oh, go do your homework. Oh, you have to play this sport this year. And we were like, no, I don't,
Mhm.
I don't want to clean my room right now. I don't have the energy for that. And our parents didn't know how powerful our no's are. And when we say no to something, we're like, so our sacral center is the center for pleasure, for our desires, for our life force energy, for our creative energy. And so when we say no to something that's really a no, we gain our energy. And when we
Mhm.
say yes to something that's really a yes, it starts to, give us energy as well. But if we say yes to a no, it depletes our energy. And same thing, if we say no, but we really mean yes, that's depleting our energy. So when our parents were like, oh, yeah, you have to do this, and they just made us override that, we started to not trust ourselves. And we went into our head and we said, oh, well, um, where are my notes here? So, yeah, we went into our heads. What will people think if I do this? Am I safe to do this? Should I do this? What if I say this and they react that way? What's gonna happen? Am I good at this? And yeah, we just went straight into our head instead of really trusting this gut response that we already knew, like growing up, like we already trusted it. Like that's the cool thing about human design. When we're born, we're already in alignment with our
Mhm.
design. And then like society happens, school happens, parents happen, and then all that conditioning happens. And so they say it's like 7 years before you fully decondition your human design chart once you start.
Dang.
Yeah, once you start your journey. I'm like 6 years into it. I'm like, come on, one more year. But the journey's never done. Like there's always
Yeah.
more to learn. There's always something to decondition. Um, but so yeah, like that's what we did. We just overrid that response and we went straight into our head instead of trusting this innate wisdom that we all have. We all have an internal guidance system. And so it's really about just building that trust.